Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here, and continuing with my month-long holiday horror series of holiday-themed horror films. Today I'm going to bring you guys my review of Silent Night, Bloody Night from 1973, directed by Theodore Gershuni. And you have to forgive me, I'm just now getting over my bronchitis, so my voice is still a little scratchy. But I really don't want to go too much into the plot of Silent Night, Bloody Night because there's a lot going on in the film, and I don't really want to give too much away. And my gut reaction is to want to say that I have always had a really soft spot in my heart for Silent Night, Bloody Night. But when you say you have a soft spot for something, that kind of implies that on some level you recognize, especially a film, when you say I've got a soft spot for whatever movie, it kind of implies that on some level you realize that the movie isn't very good, but you like it for whatever reason. I actually think the film Silent Night, Bloody Night is actually a pretty darn good movie and a very underrated and overlooked horror movie. The film predates both Black Christmas and Halloween. But both those films share, there's a lot of elements in Silent Night, Bloody Night that you see in both Black Christmas and Halloween. The sort of bare bones story of Silent Night, Bloody Night is about an escaped mental patient who returns to a small town, to an abandoned house that everyone in the town thinks is pretty much haunted. So that's a pretty familiar theme there. We've got a lot of killer POV shots in the film. We've got the killer making phone calls to various people in the town, very creepy, threatening phone calls, which again, you know, we've seen in Black Christmas and in Halloween. So I think definitely those two films, although they're far more well known and far more appreciated than Silent Night, Bloody Night, I think both those films definitely, owe a nod to Silent Night, Bloody Night. Now, Silent Night, Bloody Night, it is a bit slow. It's very low budget, and you can definitely see that on the screen. And there's a lot of very dark moments in the film. Like a lot of the night photography is very, very dark, and you really hardly can't tell what's going on in the film. However, I don't know if that's because of budgetary problems or because the film has been relegated to this kind of a release, not even a budget release. This is a below budget release. I've actually owned this DVD for probably 10 years, and you can find this film on these kind of super cheap, like I said, below budget kind of releases. I think I paid all of about $3 for this brand new all those years ago. And you can also find this film on those big sort of, 30 horror film collector's sets with, or packages with like a lot of public domain horror films like Night of the Living Dead and stuff like that. So this may actually be a public domain film. But I really like, first off, I think the acting is great for all around. Patrick O'Neil is great in the film. John Carradine has got a small part in the film, though he doesn't speak. Walter Abel is great. Philip Bruns, Mary Warnov. Good cast, very good acting, very good script, I think. Like I said, there's a lot going on in this movie. I like the characters. I like the dialogue. I like the fact that it kind of takes its time to let the story evolve, and you really don't see the twist at the end coming. And I think it's a very smart and kind of shocking twist at the end of the film, and I really, really like that. I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. The film has that very, cold, desolate, snowy, winterish, and even, Christmassy kind of feel to it, which I definitely appreciated as well. Just overall, I really, really enjoy Silent Night, Bloody Night. I was surprised, really, when the first time I watched it, because on the back of it, I mean, it looks more or less like a slasher movie, just a holiday themed slasher movie. And I was very pleasantly surprised the first time I watched it. It's a movie that I really appreciate a lot. And it's one that I reach for every holiday season and have watched probably every Christmas season since I first bought this. So, I really think very highly of this film, and it's kind of too bad that it has flown under the radar. It kind of developed a cult following because it was shown on like Elvira's movie night, and that's sort of how this film really sort of found an audience years and years after its release. But yeah, if you can find this, and like I said, you can find this release just all over the place, super cheap. Definitely, I highly recommend it. I've always really enjoyed this movie. I really appreciate it. It is a little slow at times, but again, I kind of appreciate that. I kind of like that it let the story evolve, that it did let some of the characters actually, grow. And yeah, I don't know. I've always had a great fondness for this film, and it's kind of too bad that it has flown under the radar and it's been relegated to these kind of, like I said, below budget, not budget, below budget kind of releases. But if you can track this thing down, which, like I said, it shouldn't be difficult, I highly recommend it. I think it's a movie that will surprise you. So yeah, that is my review of Silent Night, Bloody Night. If you guys have seen the film, let me know what you think in the comment section, good, bad, or indifferent. I know a lot of people do not like this movie, but I do. I like it quite a bit, as a matter of fact. And like I said, it is one that I reach for every holiday season, even more so than some of the other films that I've previously reviewed in this series, and more than some that I'll review coming up next. So definitely highly recommend Silent Night, Bloody Night. One of my favorite holiday horror films. So anyway, until next time, I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. I will see you later.